For years, he was the undisputed king of YouTube, a titan who built an empire of memes, bro-fists, and Let's Plays that defined an entire generation of internet culture. With over 110 million subscribers, Felix Keldsberg, better known as PewDiePie, reached a level of fame that few could imagine. His name wasn't just big on YouTube, it was YouTube. But behind the meteoric rise and the goofy persona lies a much darker, more complicated story. It's a story of intense pressure, public humiliation, and private battles that nearly brought it all crashing down. This isn't about the highlights, this is about the struggle, because for every peak there was a valley, and some of those valleys were devastatingly deep. This is the unfiltered story of the man behind the memes, the devastating price he paid for fame, and the 11 heartbreaking moments that shook his world. Number 11. The family disapproval. Long before he was a global icon, Felix Keldsberg was just a student at Chalmers University of Technology on the safe, respectable path his parents wanted for him. But Felix had a different passion, a silly dream that involved yelling at video games in his room. In 2011, he made a choice that put him at odds with his family. He dropped out of college. His parents were so disappointed that they refused to support him financially. To fund his early videos, he had to sell his Photoshop art and work at a hot dog stand. He's spoken about the immense strain this caused. It wasn't just about the money. It was about defying the people who raised him and betting his entire future on a platform that offered zero guarantee of success. That feeling of isolation and the intense pressure to prove his parents wrong was the first heavy weight he had to carry on his path to fame. Number 10. The first cracks of burnout. By 2014, PewDiePie wasn't a silly dream anymore, it was a phenomenon. But the relentless demand for daily content was already starting to take its toll. In a raw, uncharacteristic vlog, Felix appeared visibly exhausted and emotional. Set to the somber sound of Simple Plan's Untitled, the video was a world away from his usual high-energy content. He opened up about the pressure and the loneliness that came with his fame. He later called that moment a cry for help, an early glimpse into the mental health struggles that would pop up again and again in his career. This was before any of the big public scandals. It was just the pure, unfiltered exhaustion of one man in a room trying to entertain millions every single day all by himself. It was the first time the bro army saw that behind the confident general was a young man struggling just to keep it all together. Number 9. The 2017 scandals and media firestorm. Then came 2017, the year it felt like the world turned on PewDiePie. It started with a series of videos where his attempts at edgy humor crossed a major line, leading to accusations of anti-Semitism. One infamous incident where he used the website Fiverr to pay two men to hold a sign that read, "Death to all Jews," sparked a massive media firestorm. The Wall Street Journal ran an expose, and the consequences were swift and severe. Disney's Maker Studios dropped him. YouTube canceled the second season of his premium show, Scare PewDiePie, and booted him from their top advertising program. Felix was blindsided. In apology videos, he expressed deep regret, admitting the jokes went too far and saying he was sickened that his name was connected to hateful ideologies. But he also felt the media was deliberately taking his content out of context to paint him as a monster. The ordeal left him professionally isolated. Later that year, things got even worse when he used a racial slur during a live stream, leading to another wave of backlash and forcing him into a period of deep introspection. Number 8. The home robbery. As if the professional chaos wasn't enough, Felix and his then-fiancée Marzia suffered a deeply personal blow. While they were away, their home in Brighton, England was broken into. The burglars took over 90% of their valuables, jewelry, luxury goods, and irreplaceable sentimental items. Marzia shared her shock online, describing how thieves had stolen her most cherished possessions. Felix called it a massive breach of privacy. What made it even more painful was that some people on the internet actually mocked them, celebrating their loss. For a man already living under a microscope, this shattered his sense of security in his own home. It was a terrifying reminder that the animosity he faced online could spill into the real world. Number 7. The hidden battle with alcohol. While his online persona was all about having fun, behind the scenes, Felix was fighting a private battle with alcohol. At the height of his stress around 2018 and 2019, he admitted that he had started relying heavily on whiskey just to cope. The constant pressure, the public scrutiny, and the burnout had pushed him into a cycle where he felt he needed alcohol to function. In a moment of incredible vulnerability, he shared this struggle with his audience, admitting how trapped he felt. He explained he used Stoic philosophy to find the strength to quit cold turkey, a decision that marked a huge turning point in his life. This confession offered a rare, powerful look at the silent battles many creators face, proving that even the world's biggest YouTuber was struggling to numb the pain of his public life. Number 6. Aggressive fan harassment. Most celebrities deal with fan encounters, but sometimes adoration crosses a line into aggression. While on a trip to Bali in 2018, Felix and Marzia were trying to have a quiet dinner when a group of fans swarmed their table. Despite their polite requests for a little privacy, the fans were relentless, demanding photos and refusing to leave them alone. Felix described the experience as genuinely frightening, a stark reminder that his life wasn't really his own anymore. This wasn't a friendly hello, it was a mob-like intrusion that destroyed any chance of peace. He later said that incidents like this were a big reason he wanted to move to Japan, to find a place where he could escape the invasive side of his fame. Number 5. Losing the most subscribed crown. The PewDiePie vs. T-Series subscriber war was one of the biggest events in YouTube history. For over a year, his community and much of the internet rallied behind the "Subscribe to PewDiePie" movement. It was framed as the ultimate showdown, the individual creator versus the corporate machine. In 2019, the war finally ended. T-Series, an Indian music label, officially passed him to become the most subscribed channel. While many expected him to be bitter, Felix's reaction was more complicated. He released a music video called "Congratulations," a bittersweet anthem that was part genuine congrats, part nostalgic look back at his journey. The song revealed a man who was both sad to see an era end and relieved to finally be free from the crushing pressure of being number one. Number 4. The Christchurch tragedy. The "Subscribe to PewDiePie" meme, which had been mostly a fun and competitive movement, took a horrifying turn in March 2019 before carrying out a terrorist attack on 2 mosques in Christchurch, New Zealand that killed 51 people. The gunman live-streamed himself saying, "Subscribe to PewDiePie." Felix was absolutely devastated. His name and his community's slogan were now linked to an unimaginable act of terror. He immediately condemned the attack, tweeting that he felt absolutely sickened to have his name associated with something so vile. He officially called for an end to the "Subscribe to PewDiePie" meme, realizing it had been co-opted by forces of pure hate. It was a horrifying collision of his online world with real-world tragedy, forcing him to confront the unintended and devastating impact his platform could have. Number 3. The 2020 hiatus and acknowledging emptiness. After years of scandals, pressure, and a non-stop grind, by early 2020, Felix Kjellberg had hit a wall. In a video that resonated with creators everywhere, he announced he was taking a break from YouTube. He spoke candidly about feeling very tired and how the constant scrutiny had left him feeling completely empty. This wasn't just a vacation, it was a public surrender to burnout. For years, he'd been the model of consistency on the platform. His decision to finally step away highlighted the growing conversation about creator mental health and the unsustainable pace of online life. Fans overwhelmingly supported him, just relieved to see him putting putting his well-being first. It was a crucial moment of self-preservation, a recognition that if he didn't step back, he might break completely. Number 2. The loss of Maya. For over a decade, fans had known his beloved one-eyed pug, Maya. She was a constant, comforting presence in his videos, a furry sidekick who had been with him for 17 years. In December 2022, Felix shared the heartbreaking news Maya had passed away. In a raw, emotional Instagram post, he wrote, "17 years is a long time for a pug, but no time in the world would have ever been enough. I didn't think I could love a dog as much as I loved her." For millions of fans who had watched Maya grow old alongside Felix, it felt like losing a member of the family. This wasn't a public scandal or a career crisis. It was a deeply personal and universal moment of grief shared with an audience that mourned right alongside him. Number 1. The YouTube addiction. But the single darkest and most persistent battle Felix faced wasn't a controversy or a rival. It was his relationship with YouTube itself. He has described the platform's algorithm and the endless pressure for daily uploads as an addiction that slowly ate away at his mental health. For years, he was trapped in a relentless cycle: create, upload, analyze, repeat. If he stopped, he risked becoming irrelevant and losing everything. This wasn't one single event, but a long, grinding war against the very machine that made him famous. He explained that the pressure from fans and the media fed his addiction to the platform, making him feel like he had to constantly perform just to stay afloat. This struggle is the ultimate paradox of his career. The platform that gave him everything also threatened to take his sanity. His eventual decision to step back, move to Japan, and upload only when he wants to marks his final and perhaps greatest victory, not over another channel, but over the addictive nature of fame itself.